Cancer, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to have a look at your other placements to see if there are messages there. And if you're interested in a personal reading, have a look at the description below. I'm offering a promotion for the month of May. And if you've been wanting a reading, it's a good time to get one. All right, my friends, let's get started here for Cancer. What is the current energy around Cancer for the week ahead? All right, Cancer. Okay, Cancer, I'm seeing here the Strength card with the Seven of Wands in reverse. So you may be feeling that your confidence is a little bit low. You might be feeling specifically around a certain obstacle. It feels like there's a certain obstacle that right now you're feeling like you may not know how to overcome it, or you may not trust yourself to overcome it. You might be feeling some doubt around whether or not you can continue to defend yourself around something. Continuing to stand up for yourself seems to be causing you to, have a bit of self-doubt here and a lack of confidence that you can overcome a certain obstacle. It feels like something really specific that you're trying to overcome, and it's creating sort of a defensive energy where you're guarding yourself, but almost feeling like you're having a hard time with that too, like almost feeling challenged to continue to defend yourself or stand up for yourself in a certain situation. Let's see here. What is the obstacle? What is the obstacle here for Cancer when it comes to this situation? What's the obstacle? The Five of Swords is the obstacle. So that's interesting because the Five of Swords tells me that there's a moment of defeat here where you're not feeling understood. You're having some communication obstacles. The obstacle is coming in the form of communication, misunderstandings, feeling like you can't get your point across no matter how much you try and defend yourself, that you're not getting your point across. And it feels unfair in a sense. It feels like there is an obstacle when it comes to communicating with confidence and then allowing people to believe whatever they want to believe is coming through for me. Like, it's not your job to convince anyone of your worth or your value or anything like that. Like, if someone doesn't recognize your value or your worth, that's on them. And you don't have to defend yourself against that. It doesn't feel like you need to make anyone understand that. That's on them. And so it really feels here like you're at a time where there's almost like an ability that you may need to tap into to release the need to convince people of things or to teach them who you are. You can teach them just by being yourself. They don't have to look at you and say, I understand and I see your point and I will adjust accordingly. Like, it almost feels like that's what you're hoping for, but it feels like that's not on you, that everyone comes to the table understanding things to the point that they have been able to integrate experiences and understandings in their life. So if someone doesn't understand you, that's on them. It's really not on you to convince anyone of who you are or your value. And it feels like it's lowering your confidence. So that's why I'm sort of mentioning that it's not on you. If someone doesn't understand your point of view or your perspective, that's on them. And it's okay. That's the other thing, is that it's okay that not everyone is going to understand you or appreciate you or see your value. But as long as you see your value and you see your worthiness, then you're good to go. But it's when we feel like if someone else doesn't recognize it, then it must not be there, that we run into some self-doubt, we run into this lack of confidence. Yeah. Let's see here. What is top of mind for Cancer right now? What is top of mind? I feel like you may have had like a specific moment, specific conversation with someone. Let's see. Top of mind for Cancer right now. Okay. So we're seeing the Two of Wands coming through with the Nine of Cups, both in reverse, which makes me feel like right now you're focused on how dissatisfied you feel with a certain outcome. You don't feel fulfilled by this. You don't feel satisfied. You feel like your needs are going unmet, and that you're not having that gratification of achieving something that feels fulfilling or satisfying. Seeing this Two of Wands in reverse with it tells me that you may be reluctant to sort of look at things from a different perspective, and you may be feeling like you don't have options, where I think you actually do have a very strong option, in that doesn't matter if someone doesn't understand you or appreciate you, unless it does matter. And I think it does to you. And so if it matters to you, then it's going to continue to bother you, because the Two of Wands is a time of feeling insecure, being afraid to take a step forward, feeling worried about what people may think, feeling worried that an opportunity may not work out, and that sort of ends up defining you somehow. And so it's interesting, because the Two of Wands sometimes to me can also be like things suddenly work out, in a way that we don't expect. But when I see it here, it makes me feel like you're feeling very insecure about yourself, especially with the other cards that I'm seeing here. It's like you feel very insecure, very unsatisfied. Like, it's really interesting, because it feels like you're allowing someone to have a lot of power over you in terms of how they see you and what they think. It's really creating like you're giving them a lot of power over you in that way, and as a result you're starting to feel very insecure about yourself. Let's see what's driving all of this. What is driving this for Cancer? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's kind of sitting on its side, so let's leave it on its side. So that tells me that there could be something that you see as unfortunate, and you see as, this isn't going to work out for me, or that you're trying to control something that's out of your control, and that you almost are being guided to let things unfold in a way that is necessary, even though you don't really, you might not be understanding it right now fully, that there are some changes here happening around you to teach you something, but there is some chaos as well. But it is a turning point, and there is this need to relinquish control here, because there could be something that is inevitable that you're trying to control right now, and you're allowing it to have a lot of power over how you feel about yourself at this time, Cancer. And so allow the transformation and let go of the outcome, and let go of the need to convince anybody of who you are and what your worth is and what your value is, because those are inherent. And as long as you know your value and you know your worth, that's all that really matters. And then you just proceed along your way. And if some people don't get you, trust me that that's on them. And there's nothing wrong with them for not getting you. They haven't reached that part of the movie yet, or they haven't gotten to that part of the book yet, or they haven't, use whatever analogy helps you understand that if they haven't understood that for themselves, that they won't see it in you, because they haven't attained that knowledge in their own wisdom yet. So how can they possibly see it in another? They can't. And again, that's not for you to have any concern about. That's their journey. You continue along on your journey and see where you end up. Even the bottom of the deck is giving us that with this Page of Wands, which is really about self-discovery. But seeing it in the reverse tells me that you're rebelling against self-discovery. You're rebelling against what is, like the lesson that you're being shown here. You're almost angry about it, or you're frustrated with it, and You're wanting someone to just see you as you want them to see you. And there's a lesson here about letting go of control for you here, Cancer. Let's see what is the past influence on this situation. Yeah, look at that. The Chariot, which is Cancer, and the Ten of Swords. So something in the past really did a number, right? There was a sudden ending in the past, and I don't think you've let it go. I think you've tried. I think you're being guided to let it go. You may have thought you moved on from it, but it feels like it's still affecting you. The past influence is a past situation that was really difficult to move away from. And I feel like it was hard for you to accept this. And you may still be struggling to accept it in the current situation. Or you're seeing this as a misfortune. And you're seeing this as, I didn't get, my needs weren't met. You know, I'm not satisfied with this ending. And I feel really insecure about it still. So, you know, your readings the last couple of weeks have been hinting at something from the past that is still impacting you in the present. And I feel like we're seeing more of that right here. And so there was this sudden ending that I think you moved away from a little bit, and it's almost like it's back. And it's having such an impact on you, Cancer. Let's see what is upcoming energy here. And when I say it's back, I mean like it's not necessarily back in person, like this person is suddenly back. It might be for some of you, but it almost feels to me like it's back in your mind. It's playing with your sense of worth and your sense of confidence in yourself. Moving forward in the upcoming energy, I love this. I'm seeing the Six of Wands. So that tells me that there is success awaiting you on the other side of this. That you may not feel confident and that you can overcome anything that's showing up as an obstacle or a challenge right now. But moving forward, it feels like things turn around for you, which is maybe why we're seeing that Wheel of Fortune. There may be something that you're seeing right now as a nightmare or as something that is like really making you feel insecure and a lack of confidence and bringing up a lot of sort of darkness for you. Nine of Wands here on the bottom of the deck in reverse. But it's like that Wheel of Fortune is turning things around for you. You know, and I do feel like seeing the Six of Wands in the upcoming energy does turn things around for you. And the worst of this is over if you can let it go. You know what I mean? Now, let's see here. How does Cancer see themselves right now? Does Cancer see themselves right now? Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So Eight of Pentacles in reverse can be a time where, again, we're sort of not feeling like we can do stuff well, and that we're not seeing our true value, we're not seeing our true worth, and we're doubting ourselves, and we're feeling insecure, and we may be sort of ready to give up on something instead of feeling that perseverance that comes with self-confidence. You know, that perseverance that says, I'm gonna figure this out, you know, and I'm going to persevere. And, you know, it's very interesting. Like, it makes me want to ask right now where you're dedicating most of your effort and energy at this time. And it feels like if you put some of that into study, practice, self-improvement, and really focusing on what you desire to achieve, if you dedicate yourself to that, then things will actually change quite dramatically for you. You know what I mean? Like, it really feels like that's where this Six of Wands comes in, where you're recognized and acknowledged for your success, and you're able to sort of move past a situation that felt really defeating, where you come into something now and you're able to really see your soul's purpose. The idea of bringing in consistency and sort of doing things consistently, dedicating yourself to something that you feel a lot of like like you thrive when you do this. Like your whole energy shifts when you're participating in this new path that moves you away from worrying about what other people are thinking about you. And it's almost like when you let that go, you suddenly start to receive a lot of recognition, because you're actually doing the work then. Like you're not sort of sitting in, what I describe sometimes, again, I don't want to trigger anyone, but sometimes it's the pity pool, right? And we're splashing around in the pity pool going, nothing ever works out for me. No one sees my value. No one sees my worth. I'm so unsatisfied and nothing ever works out for me. And I'm so insecure about even taking a chance here. And sometimes we have to splash around in the pity pool for a little bit until it's like, to continue with that analogy, where you're tired of splashing around in there and you decide, well, maybe I'll step out of here and have a snack and lay in the sun for a bit and reflect on things in a different way. And then suddenly we don't want to go back in the pity pool. We want to actually go play somewhere or do something, do an activity that actually supports our ability to feel like we're thriving. It's interesting. Let's see how other people are seeing you right now, Cancer. Don't give up. Don't give up. Other people see you as on the brink of something transformative. So don't give up. Other people see your worth. And I feel like this is so specific. It's like this person that hurt you in the past has shown up again and has created this insecurity within you. Or maybe you found out about something and it's put you in a place of regression, where now you've gone into this past energy again that you may have thought you had dealt with and you were over it, but it's like you found something out that led you to go backwards and be like right back there again, to start thinking nothing ever works out for me, nothing is going to shift for me. And seeing that Page of Cups tells me that other people still see you as a dreamer and as someone who's so sensitive and who has so many innovative ideas that they could flourish and create anything that they desire. It really feels like this is a time for you to tap into that and to not block your own flow because you're trying to control the process. That's coming through here, Cancer. I'm sending you so much positive intention because I feel you. I've been in these moments myself. I think we all have, where something shatters our confidence and yet other people see our potential and we just get in our own ways sometimes, right? And we block ourselves. And we end up blocking our own path when we do that, because we're allowing something to have power over us that doesn't need to have power over us. And then we end up blocking our own flow because we're trying to control the process, So interesting. Let's see what the hopes and fears are around this situation. I just want to show you that the 10 of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck. So I think you're bound for success. You've just got to stop trying to control how people perceive you or how this process is unfolding, and trust it. Trust the process. Okay, hopes and fears. Let's see here. What are the hopes and fears? The Empress in reverse. So again, your flow being blocked, right? This is the card of having your flow being blocked because you're trying to control the process. That will be the title of this reading, because I feel like that is exactly what's going on here. And we see the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck trying to guide you. Your higher self is trying to guide you to not control this. Allow things to move, and trust yourself. Release yourself from this idea that other people have to see your value for you to have value. That's not true. Let me pop that bubble for you. Let me burst that bubble for you. If someone does not see your value, that is their reality to work on, not yours. Your value is there 1000% of the time, as long as you recognize it. And that's why we see the High Priestess here. Seeing the Empress in reverse tells me you have an immense amount to create. You have an immense amount to share, and it's just getting started. It's just getting started. So don't give up now because of somebody who can't see your worth, or some moment where you felt like your worth wasn't acknowledged and recognized. You know? What's the potential outcome here for Cancer? Queen of Swords in reverse. So I'm telling you that this is going to end up leaving you feeling like so resentful, so much resentment in the Queen of Swords in reverse. And it's interesting because the Queen of Swords has a backstory that I've read about in other tarot books of having to really overcome not having been recognized or acknowledged for who she is, and feeling like she had to dim her light to fit in, and then sort of breaking through that, and then stepping into her full power, right? By just owning her truth and being very, very much the pursuer of seeking truth, and not settling for anything less than the truth. And, you know, seeing this come through as your final potential outcome, the Queen of Swords in reverse, says to me that right now is a time to really look at things objectively and to see yourself truly as who you are, without needing anyone to verify or validate that. Because I feel like seeing this, if this pattern continues, then you could almost become jaded. You could almost become sort of like away from your personal wisdom. This is taking you further from your personal wisdom. And I think you actually need to speak your truth right now. And you know what? Who cares if no one gets it? As long as you're sticking to your integrity and speaking your truth, don't block yourself just because someone doesn't understand you. Look at the bottom of the deck as the Tower. This will come crumbling down around you anyway. So try not to control the process. Try to stay grounded in the truth of who you are and allow everything else to just float out to sea. The truth will set you free here, Cancer. This is showing you where you're out of alignment, you know, and it's not meant to break you. This is meant to just wake you up to the truth of who you are, not to break you down. Don't let this break you down. This is meant to free you. And I think you're going to see that in the future. You know, just, I hate this because I don't want to sound judgmental, but just because some bozo didn't recognize your worth, don't let that be the end of the story and call it a day. I don't think your energy is going to let that happen. You're going to keep getting these pushes from the universe to keep going, to express yourself, to see yourself. And again, I feel like it's a bozo that we're dealing with, a bozo here. You know? Let's see, to close this reading for Cancer, what is the highest guidance? Okay, we're seeing by the book. I just want to keep seeing here. Yeah. See, the Oracle cards are confirming the same story that we are looking at here. I'm going to show you all of these cards. So many of them came out. We'll run through them quickly. So the first card that came out was keep going. Don't give up on a path just because, again, some bozo didn't recognize your value, right? Next card, message in a bottle. You're going to get some good news about this moving forward. This is going to move forward and you're going to get success and good news about this. Orphaned. I know you feel rejected and I know you feel like someone did a number on you here, but they're a bozo. They're a bozo who didn't see all of your worth, and that's on them. They're going to figure, that was a lesson for them, not for you. That was a lesson for them. It's showing you that they're not in alignment with you, and that's no problem. All good. I'm just going to keep on moving towards what is my truth, and I'll find the community that understands me. But see how much it took you off your game, right? Coming to the edge in reverse tells me that this had an impact on your confidence and your courage and your belief in yourself. But there is this new flame here. This is a new beginning where your fire gets relit by you and you start to pursue new beginnings, and you start to see that you don't have to look at why anymore. You don't have to, it's because they didn't understand you, and that's okay. I feel like if anything, this why is now challenging you to check your intentions, right? Because you're going to have some directional decisions to make coming up, because you're leveling up, my friend. You're on the go, and you have a deep knowing about that. So trust it. You're about to create something new for yourself. This is like the Ace of Cups. So again, just because some bozo didn't recognize your worth does not mean it's not there. It just means that's not where you belong. I'm going to leave it at that. This is the longest reading I've done today. So I hope you're still with me. I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends. Thank you for joining me for this reading. I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care.